Well, with that, the opening bell, we're here for another edition of Inside OSU, and I'm in one of the most unique places on the entire OSU campus. It's the Watson Trading Room in the Spears School of Business. This room and all that goes on here gives our students a real-world Wall Street experience in the whole area of trading. And the guy that runs all this is Professor John Polonchek, and I'll ask John to come in and tell us a little bit about what we have here. John,
welcome President
welcome to Inside
Hargis.
OSU. We're glad to have you. Here we are in the Watson Trading Room. But first, you're head of the finance department. Tell us a little bit about the whole area of finance. What does that mean other than you pay bills and get your checks?
That's an important part of life, paying those bills. Finance, Burns, is a discipline that processes information for the purpose of making informed decisions.
I see.
And in this room, we apply our theory and develop models to answer the basic questions of our everyday life.
Explain a lot of this equipment here and what it's all designed to accomplish.
You notice the trading floor has a ticker and data boards and televisions. And what we do in this trading floor and in the discipline of finance is to take that information and use it to make informed decisions. We take our finance theory, build models, take the output of those models and communicate them to decision makers.
So everybody gets on these computers and has the data and make a decision about whether they're going to buy or sell in whatever it may be. Now, they can trade. They don't, but I don't want the SEC on us, but they don't trade, but they can trade anything.
We could trade
currencies, oil futures, derivatives, anything.
We could trade anything that's traded anywhere in the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Now, as I mentioned, this is called the Watson Trading Room, and that's for a good reason, because Kim and Chuck Watson donated this together with a chair, correct?
Correct. We would not have this facility without the generosity and the leadership of the Watson family. In addition, the Watson family has endowed the Watson Family Chair in Financial Risk Management. And Chuck is a very important resource for our school, not only financially, but in terms of placement of our students.
How many students do you have in this area?
Well, every finance student will come to the trading floor during their undergraduate.
So everybody majoring in finance
everybody
has to take a course here.
Will take a course that will
That's
use
great.
this resource. And in addition to that, other students from the school, primarily from the School of Business, use the floor. For example, we have a program in data mining that is managed by the management science and marketing departments.
So these are kind of the pick and shovel of data mining, these computers, right?
Exactly. These are the tools of...
Why do you data mine?
Well, as Tom Friedman says, and we see the information, or the internet revolution has created a wealth of information, which appears to be chaotic.
Flattening the world.
Flattening the world.
That's the title of his book.
Yes, flattening the world. And what we do with data mining is try to find pattern and regularities in chaos.
What happens when you find them?
Well, so for example, if we're a corporation and we go out and mine our data, we can come up with a marketing strategy that will focus on a particular demographic in a particular medium and communicate and market to them directly.
Great, okay. What are the career paths for people that leave your finance program?
And we have a lot of graduates who've been employed in energy firms. We've got graduates employed in banks, investment banks, government agencies, and manufacturing and other industrial firms.
And are they getting jobs? I mean, we all know what a tough economy it is.
Well, it is a tough economy, and we'll have a couple of our graduating students answer that question for you.
Well, let's go over here and meet some of your students and a couple of your professors.
Let's do that.
Thanks,
Thank you
John.
very much for being here.
Here I am with two of the professors in this area, and why don't you gentlemen introduce yourselves?
President Hargis, my name is Tim Crable, professor in the finance department.
Nice to meet you, Tim.
Professor
Alan?
Hargis, I'm Ali Najab Nalayeri, professor in the Department of Finance.
It's very nice to meet you. This area has a kind of a unique acronym for its name.
Yeah.
What is it?
I'd like to explain just briefly what our awkwardly named master's program is about. The MSQFE program.
MSQFE.
FE, Masters
Okay.
of Science in Quantitative Financial Economics. We have a
What
truly,
does that mean in English?
we've got a interdisciplinary program that involves 3 colleges on campus, the Business College, Arts and Sciences, and the Ag School. And besides attracting quality master students to our university, they come to take coursework in 5 of our departments.
And the idea is what we've talked earlier about. They're learning how to mine data and make prudent decisions as a result
Yeah,
of it.
students in our program develop the tools that are necessary to participate in quantitative decision making.
I see.
Yeah.
Allie, I know that our students participate in a number of competitions, and you are a big part of that.
They do. There are a couple of ones that they participate. The one that our students here have gone to, it's the one that we go to every year in Canada, Toronto. It's sponsored by University of Toronto Rotman School, and it's called Rotman International Trading Competition. We've been there for 5 years, and I've been part of it for the past 3 years.
What kind of schools are involved in this?
Pretty much Ivy Leagues, MIT, Chicago, Duke, Penn State, and the likes of those.
And how have our students done in those competitions?
There are different parts to the competition, and in past years we've had rank number 1 in one of the parts of it, number 5 in another part, number 7 in some other parts.
So we've done quite well.
Yes.
Is it your judgment then that this program is the equal to any around the country?
Absolutely, given the fact that some of the schools that we go up against have much better resources and more faculty. We've done quite well.
Okay, well, let's talk to some of our students here and find out what role they played in the competition and their experiences. Introduce yourself.
My name's Kyle Mendenhall.
Hi, Kyle. Where are you from?
I'm from Springfield, Illinois.
Great. And you participated in the competition that we were just discussing?
Exactly.
Well, tell us some of the things. I know everybody participates kind of in
All right.
everything, but you've got some things on your screen here.
All right, this part right here is for commodities trading. In this section of the competition, we traded natural gas futures contracts.
I see. And that's the real world. There's a lot of that goes on right here in Oklahoma.
Exactly, exactly.
So what I see on here, weather and forecast, and are you trying to figure out what the weather's going to be and then what the demand for natural gas is going to be?
Yeah, and in the competition, we get weather forecasts and we get news events, and then we use the weather forecasts and we try to interpret the news events and place those into our model.
So you built a model here that tells you if it's going to be a very cold winter
Exactly.
and gas storage is low,
Exactly.
prices ought to go up.
Then the prices should be at a certain level, and then we try to use that as an indicator and trade off of that. If our prices are higher than what the market's trading, then we'll want to buy it.
Great.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your name?
Hi, I'm Karin.
Hi, Karin.
Hi.
Where are you from?
I'm from Sweden,
We're in Sweden.
Norrköping.
Great. And what was your part?
Another category of the competition was screen trading. So on this screen, this shows different prices that are available for different stocks. So we developed our strategy depending on like the depth of the market, if we wanted to buy or sell, basically.
All right, I mean, does your model take into consideration how many shares are outstanding, how much so-called float there is in the stock?
Yes.
And
Shares
sort of thing?
outstanding and the prices that are available on
Nice.
the bid side and the ask side.
yeah, okay, great. How about you? Here, I'll get on this side so the cameras can see you. And your mom can see you. Vern's Hargis.
I'm Michael Gentry.
Hi,
I'm
Michael.
from Oklahoma City.
What high school?
Carl Albert.
Carl Albert, great. What part did you, or do you want to demonstrate for us?
My role was to develop and give hand signals. So if we wanted to buy a stock, we would signal buy and then a price like 9, 9, and 6.
What if you didn't want to buy it?
That would be sell.
I see. And if you do that, everybody knows what you're doing, don't they? If
We
you're
had to
buying,
give-
maybe they want to sell.
Yeah, we had to give fake out signals, so we would do this or something.
But they would never figure
No,
that's a fake out. I see on this this screen that Karin has Pistol Pete, so that's what he does when he's not shooting up the place. That's great. Okay, and let's meet. I know you're Deviant.
Yes,
Introduce last name for me. Krishnan?
Krishnan. That's Divya Krishnan.
Great. And you're from India.
I'm from India.
Where in India?
I'm from the southern part of India.
Great. Now you have a very complicated screen here. What does that tell you, and how do you make decisions from it?
Okay. They introduced a new round called automated trading this time in the competition, and what we
Automated trading.
automated trading,
Okay.
or in finance terms, it's called algorithmic trading.
Ah, algorithmic.
So my role was to develop a model that would trade automatically with the client that they had out there. So I tell the computer when we have to buy and when we have to sell in that 10-minute period that we have. And this chart out here tells us the profits that we have been making throughout.
So you did really, really well there for a while, and you've gone down. You've had a pretty good drop there, but now you're coming back.
Coming back up.
I see. Well, it looks like you're going back down again now. Well, I see. Well, as you can tell, the experience and training that our students are receiving here is truly real world and will prepare them greatly for their careers in finance. We thank everybody for welcoming us here at the Watson Trading Room. We thank Kim and Chuck Watson for their support of this program. And that's another edition of Inside OSU. We'll see you next time.